I gotta do this whole remotivation thing all over again. I finally finished it, which I'm very excited about because I've been reading this book for a bit. Tears down my face. Groceries have arrived, everyone. I'm excited. It's been a while since I got groceries because last week I was sick and I have not had proper vegetables or fruits in a scary amount of time. Scary. Peppers, strawberries, cherry tomatoes. When you think of coconut sugar, cucumber, mushrooms, my favorite kombucha, the hibiscus and rose hips by Rise. This one is so good. I've got apples and avocado here. Oh no, I have peaches. I bought peaches. I'm so excited for peaches. Also got some pizza dough for a homemade pizza night. I will say, this is really simple to make on your own, but I do think the cost of just like getting the pizza dough, I think this is like $2 versus me using an abundance of flour to make my own pizza dough kind of makes this worth it for the most part. I mean, I still think the flavoring of homemade pizza dough is top tier, but on a weeknight, sometimes you just don't want to actually make the dough. I have a sweet potato, bananas, so much cheese. I haven't gotten these in a bit, but I kind of need a pick-me-up, so I did get Pillsbury pre-made cookies. I've been doing my own like kind of version of Pillsbury by freezing cookie dough. I'm not really feeling like making some myself this week, and this is easy. And I also picked up eggs. So we're in a good spot. I have to pick up a couple more things at a local health food store this week at some point, but it feels so good to have actual food in my apartment. I was knocked out last week, like purely knocked out, and I just had no energy to actually make proper meals, which sucks because when you're sick, that's probably the time when it's most important to be getting really well thought out nutritious meals because you're just like, ugh. But that's okay. We're gonna figure it out today, get back on track with things because my body is like telling me I need produce and fruits and just regular structured meals. I've had far too much pasta these past few days, especially. Like I'm over it. I don't usually buy peaches, but I'm like salivating at the thought of eating this. It's gonna be so good. Oh, I'm not one to usually get excited about the grocery run, but this week it feels really exciting. Wow. What's so, I guess, kind of ironic about me getting sick was the fact that just before I got sick, I had posted this video, the last video that you guys saw, where I was doing a September reset and I was getting back into my healthy habits, and I was so motivated for this new beginning, new chapter, and it felt like I just got bam, smacked and said, actually, no. You won't do that. So there's a lot of frustration that was building in the last few days where I was just really annoyed over the fact that I almost feel like I'm back at square zero, not even square one, because square one would feel like at least I'm making progress. But now I'm like, oh man, I gotta do this whole remotivation thing all over again because I've lost the steam of doing it not that long ago. I'm taking these next couple days just to kind of get back into the groove again. And you know what, life is made up of sometimes a lot of fresh starts, never too late or a bad time for one. And I really just want to film this video and bring you guys along with me because I don't want to have put out that last one and have it exist on the internet and come on here and pretend that I'm like now like just feeling so good and in the groove with things, because I feel like the opposite of that. On to some more exciting stuff. I did go to Indigo before I got sick and I got 2 books. Fun fact, I didn't realize that Indigo, the store that I'm always talking about, that I'm fangirling about endlessly, is actually 25 this year. It's a 97 baby. Indigo is a 97 baby. I am a 97 baby. The stars were aligned for me to love Indigo. That's all I'm saying there. And in celebration of their 25th birthday, they've actually released a ton of 25th anniversary stuff. One of those things are a collection of books in a special edition 25th anniversary Indigo cover. Not all of them are my favorite, but there were a few that caught my eye, so I decided to get them. The first one being The 7 Husbands of Evelyn Hugo by Taylor Jenkins Reid. I adore this book, but I actually don't own it. I borrowed it from a friend when I first read it, and for the amount of love that I have for it, I do feel like it's one that should be in my collection. And I think this one is a really beautiful cover for it. And all of the covers in this line are designed by Canadian artists. There's little blurbs about the artist. This was the one that really I didn't need to get, but it's the one that caught my eye in this collection. The second book I got is because I actually really want to read this book. It is Sapiens, A Brief History of Humankind by Yuval Noah Harari. I just realized I've never actually pronounced his name out loud because that was pathetic. It's a Heather's pick, but I'm gonna take that sticker off. This one will be actually one that I fully read. I really should have just gotten this one, but I just couldn't resist this one. So anyways, these are the two new books. It's kind of nice that they're 25-year anniversary edition. It says it on the covers, so I'll know for the rest of my life when I look at these books that these are novels that I got on my 25th year. That's actually something I want to start doing, is when I finish a book, inscribing on the front cover the date that I finished reading the book, because I think that just adds a lot of coziness when you're looking back on books in your collection, especially ones that you know you read and loved. To see like, what date was it? How old would I have been when I read this? Particularly in the nonfiction, but in the fiction too, I think that's really interesting because I have a whole collection at my parents' place. I wish I could remember more of when exactly in my teens I read certain series, in which order. A little touch of history about yourself. The same day that I picked up these books, I also went to Muji with a friend of mine who is back to school shopping. Shout out Nadine. She's a teacher, so my plan is just to be best friends with her forever, so that I always have a reason to justify going back to school shopping, because teachers need to go back to school shopping every year too. So I really thought out this friendship, let me tell you. But one of the things I got at Muji, and you might be like, what the hell is this, Caitlin? This is a manual paper shredder. So you slip a piece of paper into this slot here. It's kind of small, but you can fold a piece of paper. It can take 2 sheets. So if you fold a big piece of paper, it can slip in here, and then you turn it and it shreds it for you. This is a packing notice, and I just put it in here and you start spinning it and it shreds, guys. Now, why am I excited about this? Because there's sometimes occurrences where I just need to shred 1 or 2 things, but I don't have a shredder. So I've actually considered buying a little cheap shredder so that I can shred documents that have sensitive information on them. I feel like this is a great solution. It's 20 bucks, so a little pricey, a little bit more than I would have liked. But if this stops me from like having another clunky contraption in my apartment, then I'm all for it. And then you just put this into the garbage, and there you go. It's done. I'm a big proponent of being secure with documents and shipping labels. Like, I am not someone who throws out a package with my name and address on it. I think it's so important to make sure that you cross things out, that you rip tags off. I also picked up some craft paper envelopes and this olive green highlighter, and that's the only thing I got at Muji because I realistically didn't really need any pens. This is a very strange angle. Here's the dealio. I want to wash those strawberries ASAP because if I don't eat them in the next like 12 hours, they will not be good. Yeah, this carton is dripping. Something is dripping. Okay, in the bowl you go. I put them in water. I'm gonna add a little bit of vinegar, and this we're gonna rinse out. This peach, hella mediocre. Hella mediocre. I know what will fix this. A little kombucha in a wine glass. Yes. Ooh. Chance. Life is restored again and is good. So I'm hoping you can kind of clarify, because it's saying that eligible for upgrade, but I still have... I finally finished it, which I'm very excited about because I've been reading this book for a bit, which is not the book's fault. That's kind of a me thing. Shame on me for not being more persistent with it. But I've got a lot of thoughts. I'm kind of hesitant to tell you about them now, but I feel like we need to do it when it's fresh. If you read Maybe You Should Talk to Someone, that's a book that follows Lori as she is going through therapy as a therapist. The conversations in that book are really written through her and through the stories of a few other patients that she has. This one is written through Lori's experience dating in her 40s as a single mom, and the struggles that come with that, the unpacking of dating quote unquote rules or thoughts about relationships that aren't really like serving her in her pursuit to find a lifelong partner. I always thought like the title of this one really intrigued me because I feel like that narrative of settling, or no, not settling, finding Mr. Perfect is very shoved down our throats in culture, whether it's TV, books, movies. It is like the storyline that is sold to women. You must not settle, you deserve the world and a partner who treats you like a queen and all these things. And not to say that we don't deserve that, but maybe we should rethink, reconsider what quote unquote the perfect man looks like. I think there was some interesting points in this one about not looking to your partner to be everything and anything. Even this conversation that she has with the rabbi towards the end of the book, there's this part where Lori asks him, how important do you think sparks are in marriage? And the Rabbi Wolpe says, it's interesting. A lot of people when they're dating come to me and say, I just want someone I can be myself with, someone I'm completely comfortable with. But the same thing that you want in marriage, people don't like in dating. The same comfort and ease also translates into, you're too comfortable and easy with me, you don't try. So which is it? Do you want exciting or do you want comfortable? The biggest predictor I've seen of whether a marriage will work has nothing to do with sparks, but how similar two people's expectations are. If they have very different expectations in the marriage or very different upbringings that they haven't really worked through, it's going to be a struggle. And I actually think that kindness long-term is the most useful and overlooked quality people should be looking for. And I kind of wish this book would dive deeper into some of these points, because this is where I feel like there's the real like good thought starters, aha moments. And although the book like is about settling for Mr. Good Enough, I do think it's not trying to be like this Debbie Downer. It's really just trying to help people reconsider the way that they view relationships, how a good relationship, a good enough one, can become a great one. But if we're not giving it time to really be that, then we could be doing ourselves a disservice. We shouldn't be in relationships that are toxic or that are with awful human beings. Like, it's not advocating for marrying anyone, but maybe there's something to be said about building on something rather than expecting all of the pieces to be amazing right from the get-go. I give it a 3.7 out of 5. I think it's a valuable one to read if you're single, if you are in a relationship and you're having doubts, whether you're dating someone, you're married to someone. Overall, it got me thinking. It got the brain going. I'll have a link down below, and if you read it, let me know your thoughts about it in the comment section. So now I need to figure out what my next book is going to be. I don't know if I'm going to go health or financial. I know I just spoke about Sapiens in this video, but I don't think I'm prepared for Sapiens. I definitely don't want to do like another relationship focused book. I think you kind of need to divide or take space between your nonfiction topics, because if I only read financial books, like it would go in one ear, out the other. If I just read books about health, it'd be in one ear, out the other. I'm glad I finished that one. It's always exciting, like finishing a book, having that contemplative, what did I take away from this moment? And then it's always great to start a new one and kind of get excited about expanding your brain on a new topic. I'm getting out my book embosser. I love it. Put on workout clothes while I'm making dinner, because when my dinner is in the oven, I'm going to try and do a workout, multitask it out. It's one of my favorite hacks for trying to get on the mat when you should have already gone on the mat today and you're like, oops. Some of you will be happy to hear that I'm going to be chopping up this beautiful, sexy sweet potato with a knife that is larger than a regular paring knife. I get lots of comments about concerns about me chopping with knives like these, but I'm telling you, these are the best kinds of knives. But I see your point. We've upgraded a little bit. Maybe one day I'll actually get a chef's knife. I'm gonna chop up this sweet potato, and I think I'm gonna do a black bean bowl, so I'm gonna use some of the stuff in this taco kit, but I'll probably just save the tacos for something else, unless I don't know, I'm not really craving a whole taco moment tonight. But a bowl with black beans and corn and sweet potato, ooh. So I'm just gonna cut this sweet potato into little cubes that are good for a bowl. And then after my workout, I'll get the black beans going. They won't take very long because you're just basically heating them up. Now to season. I'm gonna use some chili powder, if I can open it. Ow! Smoked paprika. Teeny bit of cayenne. What it is about my practices lately, but both when it comes to yoga and meditation, I've just been so emotional during the practice. Like even before I did this 25-minute yoga session with Adrienne, this was like a celebration focused practice, which I thought was so beautiful because so often we do go to the mat for relief of like sad times, but what a great alternative to go to the mat when you're feeling like, let me celebrate something big or something small. But within the first 2 minutes, I'm like already tearing up. I'm like, girl, get it together. And then the meditations I've been doing recently through an app called Insight Timer, which I highly recommend. I think I follow Sarah, is her last name Bowden? I'll include a link below. I really like her meditation practices. They are very spiritual heavy. It can be a little like woo woo woo. So if that's not your thing, maybe not the one to start off with, but she's got some that hit me right in the feels. I don't know, something about her voice is very comforting and her words that I've multiple times found myself just like tears down my face while I'm meditating. Mind you, over the last couple days I've also been on my period, so take that with a grain of salt. Let me adjust you here. I have my big pan out. I'm going to get some onions going, then add this black bean and just mix it together. That's all that's happening. A little too frozen. In many ways, like I really like the fact that I have these emotional releases when I'm doing these practices, because it means I have tools for releasing that pent up energy. There's nothing worse than holding it in, and sometimes it shocks me. It throws me for a loop. I don't realize I'm tense, or I'm just like keeping things bottling up inside, and obviously we know that that's not healthy. So I do like the fact that I've been getting some like oof, good cries out. Sometimes you just need to cry. Obviously you don't want to be crying like 24/7, but it is nice to get it out. Today was game changing. Wow. A couple minutes before filming this clip, I actually started a new note on my phone for things just to kind of look out for. Like I was going around the apartment and I was noticing that there are just some things I need to be looking out for when I'm out, like bed sheets. I need new sets of bed sheets. I need a slotted spoon. I need batteries. I'm out of batteries. So these are just things I feel like easily slips through the brain when you're out and about, but I feel like whenever I can make a list, I will take advantage of that opportunity because it really does help. I don't know, today felt like a good turning point in me just feeling like I want to let go of this frustration that I had over being sick last week, over something that was completely out of my control that kind of put the brakes on life for a bit. It's in the past and I just gotta move forward, and I'm excited about a lot this fall. I'm getting the itch to do a little bit of fall Halloween decorating, nothing too crazy because I feel like spooky season is such a limited amount of time, but I have something at my PO box for a DIY I want to do that I've seen on TikTok and Pinterest, particularly last year, that I think would be really fun and add like just some whimsicalness to the apartment. Usually for the fall I just do my pink pumpkin and my little basket pumpkin on the right there. I also had a bit of like a reality check moment this afternoon that wasn't welcomed but is a good perspective reminder. I'm not going to get into details, everyone is fine, but it was a big reminder that when family and friends are healthy and safe, that is what's important, and it's really easy to forget that on the day-to-day and allow yourself to kind of get influenced by these really minor inconveniences. And I'm trying to challenge myself to not let those small inconveniences go, and today was a reminder of that. I never remember to wrap up these vlogs, so I just want to say there are more vlogs coming. There's more planning and organization content that I'm planning to do these next few months as well. So I hope you're excited about that. This is such a great time of year that we're heading into, and I just want to make good content for you across the board, here on YouTube, on Instagram, on TikTok. Like, that's what I really want to just prioritize over the next little bit, is just making good stuff. We'll see you all soon with a new one. Stay safe, stay healthy, and yeah, toodles folks.